another edition of our Current Affairs program, Countdown to 2019. 2019 is a program put together to bring to you all you need to know, Nigerians as voters, before, during, and after the 2019 general elections. All the activities that are involved in the preparation. This afternoon, we'll be looking at the issue of leadership, credible challenge of leadership recruitment in Nigeria. My name is Chris Mario. With me in the studio to ventilate this topic is no other less a person than
Comrade Abdullah Mohammed Jabis.
Abdullah Mohammed is here. Together we'll look at this issue. Hopefully we'll be having our second guest who will be here as well. He's on his way. By the grace of God, he'll get here safely. To kickstart with that, Mr. Abdullah, Nigeria is on the march again. The process of getting leaders that will lead this country for the next 4 years. And I mean leaders from all levels of our governance. And one particular issue we have always been faced with is credible leadership. I believe you won't agree with us with that.
Well, credible leadership, as the name implies, is a description of an individual who is knowledgeable, who is well-rooted in the choice of his field, and who has the experience to disseminate authorities and powers in accordance with the office he has contested for and deliver service to Nigerians.
Yes. How do we get that? How do we get to get such a person?
Well, the process of leadership recruitment is a big challenge in Nigeria because here we are, we've not been able to get it right. Yeah. People will just wake up midway, seen opportunities and said, I'm volunteering myself for service of Nigeria. Yes. Without proper, being equipped with the requisite of what is going for. Okay. Without proper preparation and mentoring by the leadership that be. Okay. But I think we can start by looking at some institutions that will help us in these directions. Okay. Because the whole mark of service to humanity is about having the right leadership in the right place. Okay. And those areas, those institutions you are talking about, what are those institutions? Who constitute them? Well, we have the former institution and the informal institutions. Okay. The former institution has to do with institutions that has to do with training and capacity building. Okay. Like the Citadel of Knowledge. Yes. Is one aspect of it. Then we have those other one that has to come from the traditional one. Okay. The grooming by leaders traditionally. Okay, traditionally institutions to groom an individual to be well equipped on the subject matter of leadership, authority, and service delivery. Okay. That's another aspect of it. And with those aspects, when we have this, we'll be able to get a credible leadership. Yes, we'll be able to mentor leadership well across board in various sectors of human endeavor. Leadership that will be able to deliver service in terms of human capacity. Okay. We'll be able to get it right. Well, you mentioned mentoring. Yeah. Whom do we mentor here now in this aspect of this? Well, in the circumstances, you are talking about democracy, you are talking about the individuals who are showing interest in contesting elective position into public office. Yes. They need to be mentored even from the time of conception of the idea. Okay. There should be an institutions that if indicate interest, intent, then you are compulsorily going to that institutions to know about what are the role of leadership, what is leadership responsibility, how dispense your responsibility, how dispense the power and obligation bestowed on you for the people to be able to have value in terms of service delivery. Okay. But if there is a vacuum or lacuna in this process of equipping them with the right knowledge, the right information, the right skill for them to be able to carry on their office, then what we see is a decimal performance in offices. Okay. So right now, we don't seem to have that. No, we don't seem to have it, really. We only have what we call fire brigade approach. Okay. The society is responsible for all these woes that is befalling us, and the leadership too. Those in leadership position are not helping matters because it's about family affairs here. Okay. Leadership has been relegated to family affairs and not on merit system. Okay. If it is allowed to come through competitiveness, will have the best, and Nigeria will be better. Okay. And that will ensure that there will be strong institutions, not strong individuals as it were today.
Okay.
Yes.
But we have organs that are put in place, who have dedicated themselves coming together and say, okay, we want to see how we can get leadership. Groom leadership, recruit leadership. We're talking about political parties.
Yes, political party is a medium for leadership recruitment, but they are not doing it rightly. Because if you look at the crisis arising from lack of internal democracy within the party, that is where the problem starts from.
Because
we don't allow competition, healthy competition among contestants, for them to showcase the best of their potentials, for the people, for the electorate to have options of valuing them on the basis of their capability, charisma, knowledge, you understand? Understanding of what they expected, the role expected of them to play, and their vision to deliver the services to the larger society. That will be a challenge. But nevertheless, in politicking, it is through the political party as a vehicle that leadership emerge. This can be done wrongly, as it were, as a result of several factors. One, relationship with the leadership of the party. Two, the work with all. I'm talking about finance. Three, man-to-man connection. You talk of Nigerian factor, godfatherism, and what have you. Those are issues that could not allow the best candidate to emerge. It is only in Nigeria I've seen over years that the best candidate don't win election for obvious reasons. Not because it's not good, not because they have no ability, but because it's lacking financially as a factor. Secondly, because it's too independent-minded. There is that fear from other team players that we may not be able to maneuver him to play our own game. So we should look for a weaker person that we can manipulate for us to benefit from the state assets.
Yeah, when you look at it from that point of view, you discover that over the time, Nigerians have been able to see what you can come out of this. There are institutions, like you rightly stated out there. We have leadership training center and the rest of it. How many do you think can have a benefit of partaking or participating in this leadership?
I think there should be legislation in the National Assembly and state assemblies that make it mandatory for anybody seeking public office to have, in the course of pre-preparation, to go to leadership training in such institution for 3 to 6 months, to be equipped with the rudiments of leadership and how it can deliver the responsibility of the office is seeking for. That is very important. If we make it a compulsory policy guidelines by INEC or political parties, then we will be addressing the issue from that point of view. But as it is today, it's an open-ended issue, and it is left widely open as if there is no option. It's just what you like, you do. And that's not helping our developmental strides in this country.
You discover again that even at that level, the political parties too, they have these internal problems of internal democracy, impunity, and the rest of it. The issue of being a party being hijacked by money bags and the rest of it. So the process of getting out a credible leader
is always very difficult.
Because whoever is coming there possibly is to serve the interests of the...
That's what I just said.
That's what they said.
It is just a few cases that you see some of them emerge erroneously, and they come to public glare to give in their best. And you start imagining, where were this type of people when we say we are suffering and nobody to give us this quality and able representation, be it in the legislative arms, be it in the...
All right, you hold it there. Let us take a quick break. We'll come back there. Back there, we'll move further from there. Issue of party relationship with candidates seeking for for leadership positions. How fair are we in Nigeria? How can we be rated?
In fact, we are not doing well. That is the truth of the matter. If you take example from the just concluded APC congresses on affirmation, a lot of crises in a lot of states because of parallel conventions. People who have interests and have indicated their interest to contest were not allowed because of obvious reasons. In some states, some stakeholders want the status quo to remain.
Okay.
Some want to change the system for the better.
Okay.
But they are being suffocated because there is nobody to stand in for them. For that fear-free and just environment for competition, healthy competition.
It got across all the parties.
That is what it is.
In the land.
That is what it
and
is.
How do we get out of this?
Except those in position of authorities allow people to play by the rules.
That you were talking about legislature.
Yes. There must be legislation to this effect.
Okay.
Because you can't be working in vacuum. Are you getting me now?
Yes.
The law is to guide human behavior.
Okay.
And when the law is there, standard will be maintained.
Exactly.
And then there will be purity in terms of the quality of the products that we are turning out to give us service in that direction.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Because if from that angle now you look at the issue of even the involving of party leadership,
it's
equally something that will take up to the national.
Exactly.
Because when you look at the local government, from the local government councillors, chairmen, states, assemblies, the governors and the presidency and the National Assembly.
Exactly.
But the silent issue is still this. Why are we monetizing our politics?
Well, monetization...
Is there anything there that one will say, okay, let me put in so much so that I'll be able to come out with this?
No, it is a very bad orientation that was introduced in the Third Republic. In the First and Second Republic, party members are the individuals that are contributing money to finance the program of activities of the party. Okay. In that direction, there is no individual that can lay claim to being a god for that. Exactly. Okay. So if there is an issue to be discussed, it's tabled across board. People ventilate their opinion, their views, and then it's aggregated, sieved, and then they pick the most strong, convincing opinion there. Okay. And that becomes the candidate that has the quality.
Okay. From what you say, at what point of our developmental life we get it wrong?
Yes, at least from the Fourth Republic. The issue of from MPN, UPN, it's become deepened that politics has been monetized to such a level that some of the professionals were scared coming close. Not only that, politics turned to a very rough game where if you are not militant in character, you understand now, you will not be able to stand the test of time within the cycle of competing individuals and groups. So the best products that are intended to add value were scared from coming in. More so, violence is the other name of seeking office in the political terrain. Especially in Nigeria. Yes. Okay. So those are the issues until we have a very good defined legislations and laws that curb all these excesses, negative tendencies. Yeah. We may be far from getting it right.
It's a great danger to point out to 2019.
It is.
But somewhere along the line, people like you, stakeholders and opinion molders should be able to do something by way of say, let this be this, let that be that. What are you doing? Your organization, you say it, campaign for democracy.
Yes, the Civil Society and Human Rights Organization.
Yes. What do you do within that?
Yes, we have, in fact, from the nomenclature of our organization, Campaign for Democracy, we promote democracy. We are in the forefront with NEDECO. Among those are 4 the military stands still to ensure that democracy is entrenched in this country, and some other of our leaders pay the supreme price. You can name the likes of MK Abiola, his wife, Pariwani, you understand? Many of them, Bekora Somkuti, Ubani, and so on, Akaba Shoron, and so on and so forth, that have to pay the supreme price because they want to entrench democracy in this country. But having succeeded in chasing away the military, and we're able to get democracy now, then the politicians have not been able to learn from the past mistakes. What was done in the past, First, Second Republic, is still what is deeply or more in negative times being replicated. And that's the sorry state of our. But what we do is to intensify advocacy campaign on civic education, voter education, and we ensure that we are part and integral part of domestic election observers. INEC often accredit us to monitor elections across the states of the Federation. And this we're doing.
Okay.
And the records are there.
You mentioned INEC. How do you rate the ongoing registration of voters exercise?
I think it's a very healthy one. If some Nigerians believe that the present administration under President Muhammadu Buhari and APC-led government is not doing enough, they have opportunity of changing the government through the ballot box. It's just a simple logic there. And if they believe that the government is doing well, and then they can keep up alive, because it's not easy to build. It is easier to destroy. The 16 years of underdevelopment, monumental systemic corruption, you understand me now, and then above all, the looting of the treasury has led us to where we are today. They can't be gained without pain. This is the sacrifice we have to make. And I'm happy with the present administration for the fact that Mr. President is focused, and I hope some of his aides and appointees will queue and borrow leave to make sure that they help him to succeed in the drive to create a new Nigeria of our own dream for this generation and generation to be born. Because when we have a very strong, politically will president, then other organs of the government should be able to queue within the policy trust of that administration.
There is this agitation for power shifts from the elderly to the youths now. You think Nigeria is ripe for it?
Nigeria is ripe for it. It's very, very ripe for it. I mean, the advocacy and the bill in the National Assembly on the not too young to run. It's a very good bill, and we are appealing to Mr. President and the National Assembly members to ensure that he assented to it. Because when General Gowon was head of state, how old was he?
No, those were military. You know how they come about. Those were
even if they come through the barrier of God,
we are talking of
the age factor as a youth still revolve around them at that material time.
And at that particular time, it was a thing of necessity.
Yeah, but he's still a youth. Forget the fact that they came into the barrier of God. His age aggregate was a youth, and they did very well. We can replicate it, but the examples of youth that we have in governance in states like Kogi is a disappointment.
No, you don't get that. You don't get that. I beg apology for that. You don't. Let us not pinpoint.
No, I didn't mention it. I just mentioned.
Somebody is from Kogi. Kogi is part of Nigeria.
It's okay. It's okay.
But what it should be there is that we're looking at the youth generally. Nationally, they know that holistic.
Nobody will give power to the youth democratically except we fought for it. We will struggle. We will struggle to get the power. You can't just sit behind the seats and be agitating for power. You must be integral part of the hope that will bring the desired change that we all desire. So everybody must struggle for power, regardless of your geopolitical zones or your economic status in society or your political party affiliation. Everybody that believes that Nigeria must be good for us to sustain our oneness, our destiny, then they must come to struggle through the ballot box to ensure that the right people come on board to salvage us from the mirage of the challenges the country is facing now.
Yeah, you said one factor that always deprive credible leadership to come on board is one of those things is financing.
I've said
the youth seems to have that kind of resources.
That is why again the legislature has a challenge, and INEC too should be forthrightly coming with policy that defines what is election financing from one step to another at council level. What is the maximum? There must be capping for what your expenditure should be, and it must be monitored by the security agencies and the financial institutions that regulates and watch. If, for instance, the councillorship should spend a minimum of 100,000 naira, if you discover an individual have spent beyond that, it should be disqualified. The same thing at the level of chairmanship, which is 2 million naira. Let it be. It has gone beyond that, it should be disqualified. You will know from all the logistical requirements that he has exits. And then there should be punitive action against those that are monetizing politics by vote buying. Are you getting me now? If that is done, it's an offense. It's a criminal offense under the law, and then the sanction should be clear.
Yeah, probably.
Spelled out.
The last question. What is your take on zoning of political parties' positions?
It is good. It gives opportunity for equal representation, as it were, because if the Southwest is cutting the short, and it's time-bound.
Okay.
It implies that after the expiration of the time period, another zone will come. Okay. We'll cut it short, and it will go round. So there will be equity in that direction. But again, that's disadvantage. The advantage is that you do not give room for competition, healthy competition, because the best candidate may not emerge. Exactly. You know, it's on consensus arrangements. Okay. And that is just disadvantage. But if it is allowed to be competitive with a defined policy, programs, law, and monitoring, we can get we have good human capital in this country that can change our fortune as we are today to a better one. Okay. We have them everywhere. All right. We are not short of manpower when it comes to human capital development. Okay. We have them everywhere. Nigerians are very resourceful, highly educated, highly celebrated, all over globally. Okay. Well, thank you, Nigerians, viewers, for investing your time with us in this brief discussion. It's an ongoing discussion. Challenge of credible leadership in our nation. We want to call it off today. Hopefully by next week, we'll come again with another guest who will continue it for some time, so that you'll be able to be guided as you go out to cast your vote come February or so 2019. Thank you, Mr. Abdullahi Jabi, for being our guest today. Thank you, viewers, for being there. Continue to have a time with us. My name is Chris Mario. Thank you for giving me the opportunity and the platform. Thank you.